welcome to my playhouse. And I'm here still at work, still very sweaty, and that's because I've just been carrying in boxes and we've got some new servers and I get the chance to unbox a new server, and I know that they're very popular on YouTube, so I'm gonna make a video about unboxing this HP or Hewlett-Packard DL380p for professional, and it is loaded. It has some of the highest performing processors, and it has 512 gigabytes of RAM, so it should be a really cool server. Oh yeah, and then it has 10 gigabit connections, 10 gigabit network connections, and it has fiber optic connections to SAN. Those are 8 gigabits. I do think that the maximum is 16 right now, so in that perspective it's not using the latest technology, but let's unbox it. I must admit that we have had this server around another company that has put in everything, which is, it's a bit of a shame because it's kind of nice to do things yourself, but I'm gonna open it with this X-Acto knife, Stanley knife. Are you ready? This is not exactly how it looks from the factory. I think there used to be some cardboard boxes in here for these rails. I'm not sure. If you've seen the other video I just did on this server, you will already have seen these. And if I'm lucky, I could get to making an installment video where I actually put this in a rack. Garbage. More railing equipment. And I'm just gonna put everything together here. Keep that together. Accessories, there's some manuals and there's some cables. It's actually also a gigabit, and this one is for, see that. This is for the SAN connection. It's an 8 gigabit. Gotta save those. I don't think they come standard with the server. That would be really weird because they're kind of expensive. Server. Here on the back we have the same thing as I was showing you on the server that was already installed in the rack. We have, oh, this is actually a bit different. In this one we have 2 fiber optic extension cards. We have this one in the top that has 2 ports. I guess we have to get the camera a bit down to see that. We have this one that has 2 ports, and just beneath it is 10 gigabit Ethernet and then there's a SAN connection more, 8 gigabits, and down here we have 2 ports for 10 gigabit Ethernet. We have the serial port, we have the ILO adapter, ILO, we have a VGA connection, 4 USB ports, the blue button, and 2 power supplies. Let's take one of these out. They're kind of tiny. They're really small. This is 400, I think it's, yeah, 460 watt power supply. So the server is not using more than 460 watts, because then there's no redundancy. And they are hot swappable, and that's what this color means, I think. In front of the server, it's exactly like the other one that I did a film about just moments ago. So I'm just gonna go fast through it. VGA connection, and this is a plug to take out the server off the rack. There's room for a CD drive. We are not getting it with the CD or DVD drive because we don't use that. And there's 8 slots for hard drives, 2.5 inches. And there's a panel to show light diodes for different stuff in the server. Like here we have the power supplies, we have power cap, over temperature, ambient status, AMP status, not sure what that is. We have the NICs, and these NICs are, of course, they have been taken out, so I don't know if 1 and 2 is gonna be powered on. And then there's a light diode for each of the processors, and a light diode for each of the 24 slots of RAM, and one for every fan inside. There's a USB connection, and there's a pull-out serial number, and on the back is the default password and username for the ILO adapter. And over here we have the power button. This one is the button. We have a diode here that shows, I think it's hard disk usability, I'm not sure about that. And the network use, if the network is being used, this one will blink. And another USB connection, and the blue button, and another thing to get the server out of the rack. So let's look inside, and this time it's not locked. But let's just go through that again. It's the same system as on the Dell, and you have this opening mechanism. That's a black thing, and there's like a button right here, gray thing that you press this in, and then this comes up, and when you pull it up, the cover slides backwards like that, and then it's released. On top of it there's a little information, and there's some weight, how much this server weighs, somewhere between 23 kilos and 37 kilos. And something in Chinese, something about the power, and warning hot surface. I really don't hope so. The server is not supposed to be that hot that you can burn yourself. Okay, first time we look at this. Inside of the LED of the server. Let's see, first we have a nice plan over the motherboard with all the components, all the memory, the processors, processor 1, processor 2, internal battery, connections, SAS connections, and down here we have the fans and then their numbers, DIMM configuration, all you need, or some of the information you need to configure this server with memory. Further down we have some explanation of the hard drives, if there's any hard drives installed in this server. They will have light diodes on that you can see, and there's some explanation about how to move and disk status and active ring. Don't know what that is yet. And here is different servers, what they can look like from the outside. You are able to change the configuration of the servers. So this is pretty much how this one looks. Like this, there's room for a CD drive, and there are 8 bays, and there is some information. But you're able to get a server that is all drives. So you can actually plug in 25 drives in that server. And then there's the back of it, and there's another configuration where it's still the same server, but you have like 8 big hard drives, like 3.5 inches hard drive, and still CD-ROM and some information and diodes and stuff. And then the last one is a configuration where you can fit in 12 3.5 inch hard drives, and it's still the same server inside. So, and there's some explanation about what everything is, and there's some explanation about what this panel is, and I might just look up what this ambient status is. Okay, I just read something on the LED and found out that this diode is the health diode, so it shows you if the server is good. But I did not find out what the AMP diode does. The explanation is not really that good. So I'll have to look that up in editing, and maybe you'll get something down here. So. And there's some PCIe slot description and another description down here. And there is this big thing about putting in processor and cooling and stuff like that. So very important to read all the things on the LED here. I'll have to do that myself. So here we are inside the server, and it really looks neat. They have like made a really pretty design. To start in front, we have of course hard drives and CD-ROM drive, not installed, but there's room for it. And the health status, can we call it that section, where it shows you if the server is good and what is doing what, blinking and stuff. And the hard drive bays are divided into these prints or PCBs. So you have a section of 8 hard drives like this, and you can get another one, and that will be the next section. And we have a lot of fans. We have 6 fans, and they are hot pluggable as well. So if a fan should fail, they really rarely do. If you have a clean server room like this one, where our server room is controlled, this is actually an air intake, and if it has to take in air, it's filtered. So when we take out servers that has been running for 6 years, they will look exactly like this one. No dirt or dust or anything. Well, that's pretty cool. But dust kills fans. They will die. And we have this plastic thing that makes sure that the airflow is in the right direction. You want the air. All servers, all the servers I work with, they suck in air from in front of the server, and the fans, they pull in the air past the hard drives and anything else up here, but that cools down the hard drives as well. The fan is then divided into different fans for different stuff. On this row, they can share a little. So it's not as important if a fan should die, because the two next to it will take over the work. But yeah, it's not divided as nicely, so probably the fans are not able to turn up and down individually. So if this needs cooling, it would be nice so if only this fan could turn up 10% or whatever. But yeah, that's how it works. And here we have the processors, and in the server there's a processor called E5 2676, and it uses 130 watts. It's a really powerful processor. I'll just zoom in on that. Maybe we can. Oh, it's upside down. I'll just turn the server around. Take this off and just have a peek at the other one. And this is a VMware server. It's gonna be used for a SQL cluster, and Microsoft SQL is licensing for every core. So where we normally have a lot of cores, we in this case have a few cores and a very high clock frequency. And this, I think it's a 3.3 gigahertz processor, and there is 6 of them or 8. I'll have to write that down here. But there's 2 processors like that, and it's gonna be in a cluster with 3 servers like this, and each of them with half a terabyte of RAM. So every server have 512 gigabytes of memory, and that's doable because this server can use, just zoom in on that. Every block is 32 gigabytes of RAM. That's really a huge amount of RAM in one block. And down here on the system board we have a SATA controller, and here we have an internal USB stick, and this is for, you could put VMware on a USB stick and run it from this USB port. And down here is a SD card, and that's what we are running the operating system from that SD card. Otherwise it's just a lot of chips and resistors and capacitors, and I think there's a blue light diode there, but I'm not sure what it's for. I guess that was kind of the funny things, exciting things. Yeah, now I just plugged up this riser card without thinking about it, but this is actually the second riser card in this server, and each riser card has room for 3 cards, and the lower one is PCI Express X8, and that's actually these 2, and this top one is a PCI Express X16. So that's how this looks, and it even has a plug for a graphics card right there. So that's pretty neat. And when you plug it in, you have to be careful at the back here. There's some slides that it has to go down to. And just plug it in, and it should meet up with the plug on the system board. And you have these handles. Normally they are down like this, but when you take out this riser card there. You have to take them up and you press it down and just turn it around like that, and it's locked in place. So that's good. Here we have the 10 gigabit Ethernet connections, and there's no gigabits in it. And I just happen to have those laying around in a box. We kind of use a lot right now. We are in middle of changing from 1 gigabit to 10 gigabit. So I'm gonna install 4 of those in these slots. Like that. And then actually also the SAN connection gigabits are missing, so I'm gonna find those and put those in as well. They were in the bag that I showed before, so I'm just gonna unwrap one and put it in. We're only gonna use the one of them, so I'm gonna put that in port number 1. There we are. So now this server is fully connected with external things, communication devices. So these two and these two will be 40 gigabytes of network, 40 gigabit of network, and these two are gonna go to the SAN, and they are each 8 gigabit, so a total of 16. I don't know if they're able to work together or if it's a failover system. Yeah, that was kind of the fast overview, outboxing of this HP 380p. I'm just gonna put the cover back on. There we are, and it's ready for installation another day. So that's about it. Thank you for watching. Do subscribe to my channel if you want to see more server videos or me doing other weird stuff. Have a really nice day. Bye bye.